Good morning, and welcome to this historic broadcast from USA Fans. Today we stand on a calendar day that will likely be written in golden letters in the economic history of Iraq. Today is February 11th, 2026. We are not here today to discuss ordinary daily market updates or social media rumors. Today, we are going to begin a discussion that is the deepest analysis of a nation's economic rebirth. What has happened in the financial corridors of Baghdad in the last 24 hours is not merely a change in numbers, it is the final initiation of the successful implementation of a long-term plan. For those of you who have placed your trust in the Iraqi Dinar for years, who have maintained your positions through hundreds of market ups and downs, today's lengthy analysis is for you. We will enter deep into the data today. We will connect the dots, and we will try to understand why, at the very moment immediately following the passing of the 2026 budget, the picture of the market changed completely. Let us begin right with the biggest news of the current moment. You know, when a country's currency value is artificially held, it has an official rate and a parallel or black market rate. The greatest curse of Iraq's economy was the vast chasm or gap between these two rates. While the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, set the official rate at 1310, dollars were sold on the streets of Baghdad, in the alleyways of Karada, and in the money exchanges of Erbil for 1,500, 1,550, even 1,600 dinars. This gap was the primary cause of the hemorrhaging of the Iraqi economy. It was a den of corruption and the main driver of inflation. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, repeatedly warned Iraq that no major economic reform or revaluation of currency value was possible until this gap was closed. But look at today's morning's data. As soon as the news spread that the budget had passed Parliament, the market showed an unprecedented reaction. We've analyzed the live feeds of Baghdad's major exchange houses this morning. It shows that the demand for dinar against the dollar has skyrocketed. The parallel market rate, which even a few days ago was above 1450, has dramatically collapsed today. Reports are coming in that the street rate is hovering between 1305 and 1310. That means, for the first time in history, the official rate and the market rate have converged at one point. This event is no ordinary market fluctuation. This is a signal. This proves that the big players in the market, those who hold billions of dinars in liquidity, have realized that the old days are over. They have realized that the budget the government has passed is not implementable with the current weak currency, so they have started dumping dollars and collecting dinars. Why is this budget so important? Why did it change market psychology like this? Let us enter into the structure of the budget. When Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and his Finance Minister Taif Sami designed this three-year budget spanning from 2026 to 2028, they created a blueprint for a modern Iraq. This is not an ordinary salary and allowance budget. This is an investment budget. The allocation that has been kept for the infrastructure sector in this budget is unprecedented. The Al Fao Grand Port Project, which will turn Iraq into one of the world's major trade hubs, is nearing completion. Connected to this is the Dry Canal Project, which will connect the Persian Gulf to Europe via rail and road, for which billions of dollars in international contracts have been signed. Now apply the basic formula of economics. The government of Iraq must make payments to these international contractors. The heavy machinery, technology, and raw materials necessary for these projects must be imported from abroad. If the value of the dinar remains at the current 1310 rate, which is less than 1 cent, to meet the cost of these massive imports, the amount of local currency Iraq would have to print would invite hyperinflation into the economy of the country. The purchasing power of the people would fall to zero, and the dream of development that has been shown would turn into a nightmare. The government knows this, the CBI knows this, and now the market also knows this. When a government promises such mega projects in its budget that are dependent on international standard purchasing, they indirectly also promise to increase the purchasing power of their currency. This budget is essentially a bet on a strong dinar. The market has taken that bet, and we can see its reaction in the live rates today. One of the architects behind this change is CBI Governor Ali Mohsen Al-Alak. Analyzing his recent steps reveals a clear pattern. For the past 2 years, the CBI has been quietly but effectively removing excess dinar liquidity from the market. Through various bonds and Islamic banking instruments, they are bringing idle money from people's hands back into the banking system. Simultaneously, they have taken their gold reserves to historical highs. Currently, Iraq is rapidly rising on the list of the world's top gold-holding nations. A country's central bank only reduces its currency supply and increases hard assets or gold reserves when they are preparing to anchor their currency at a new and higher value. This vast reserve of gold will act as a guarantee for the new value of the dinar. Now let us discuss the most crucial and complex part of this entire process, the role of America. Without the green light from the US Treasury and Federal Reserve, no major change in the dinar is possible because all dollars from Iraq's oil sales are deposited in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. For the past few years, America had maintained immense pressure on Iraq. Their accusation was that using Iraq's banks, dollars were laundered to banned countries like Iran and Syria. For this reason, they had imposed strict restrictions on dollar supply, which increased the price of the dollar in the parallel market. But we can now see the results of the high-level meeting that took place last week in Washington with the CBI governor and US Treasury officials. America has suddenly started relaxing its strict control over Iraq. They have increased dollar shipments and are giving Iraqi banks more freedom for international transactions. Why this U-turn? The reason is that Iraq has been able to prove that they have cleaned up their banking sector. The CBI has taken strict action against money laundering over the past year. They have introduced modern versions of the SWIFT system, where the movement of every dollar can be tracked. Banks that did not follow these rules have had their licenses canceled or have been banned from the dollar auction. As a result, the illegal flow of dollars to neighboring countries has almost stopped. When the smugglers' demand for dollars decreased, the true picture of the market emerged. Today's market rate of 1305 or 1310 is the real rate of Iraq's economy, not any artificial or manipulated rate. When America sees that Iraq is now behaving as a responsible financial power, they have agreed to return control of their own currency to Iraq. This trust is the foundation of revaluation. This entire picture will not be complete if we do not bring up the context of the World Trade Organization, or WTO. Iraq is standing at the very final stage of gaining full membership in the WTO. This is not ordinary membership. This is a ticket to enter the VIP club of the global economy. One of the main conditions of becoming a WTO member is adhering to Article 8. This means the member country must have a stable and internationally acceptable currency that is easily exchangeable with other countries' currencies. The WTO will never make a country a member that has multiple currency practices or multiple rates in operation. Today, when we see that the market rate and the official rate have become one, Iraq is able to show the WTO that they have been able to stabilize their currency market. This stability is essential for international trade. When Iraq becomes a full member, large companies of the world will come to invest in Iraq. They will want to take their profits back in their own currency. Without a strong and stable dinar, this international trade is not possible. Therefore, WTO membership and the dinar's revaluation are intricately linked with each other. One is defunct without the other. Now let us discuss in detail the project to delete zeros, or the issue of removing 3 zeros from the notes. There is a lot of confusion around this in the dinar community. Many think that because the budget passed using old note figures, perhaps the project to delete zeros has been canceled. This is a completely wrong idea. Rather, the current situation is the most suitable time for implementing this project. Currency reform, or deleting zeros from notes, is a highly technical process. It is only successful when the country's economy is stable and inflation is under control. When there is a large gap between market rates and official rates, if the government announces note changes, panic is created among common people, and they rush to buy dollars, resulting in the market becoming more unstable. But today, the situation is different. Today, the market rate has merged with the official rate. People's confidence in the dinar has returned. Inflation is at a historical low. This is the best time for the CBI to withdraw the old 25,000 and 10,000 dinar notes from the market and release new small denomination notes, such as 25, 10, 5, 1 dinar and coins in the market in their place. When these new notes come into the market, they will have a new purchasing power or value. This is not a devaluation or a lope. This is a redenomination and revaluation process. Through this, Iraq will bring its economy out of dollar dependency and make it stand on its own strong currency. The rapid expansion of digital payment systems is a part of this very process. You have noticed that the government is now making digital payments mandatory for all government fees, taxes, and even at petrol pumps. The reason is that when large transactions happen